Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Learn English with Podcast Conversation. This is episode 7, and I am so excited to have you here with me today. My name is Alex, and I will be your host for this episode. Today, we are going to have a lot of fun while learning English together. Are you ready? Great! Let's get started. First, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a really embarrassing moment? One that you laugh about now, but at the time, you just wanted to disappear. I have a funny story to share with you about my friend Sarah and one of her most embarrassing moments. Sarah was at a big company party. Everyone was dressed very nicely. There were a lot of important people there, and she wanted to make a good impression. She was talking to her boss when suddenly, she felt something strange. She looked down and saw that her shoe had broken. The heel of her high-heeled shoe had snapped off, and she was standing there, looking very lopsided. But that wasn't the worst part. Trying to save herself from falling, she grabbed the nearest thing to hold on to. Unfortunately, it was the tablecloth of the buffet table. The tablecloth came down, bringing all the food with it. There was salad, soup, and even a big chocolate cake. Everything fell to the floor, and Sarah was covered in food. Can you imagine the scene? It was like a comedy movie. Sarah was so embarrassed, but she quickly stood up, laughed it off, and said, "Well, at least now I have a reason to go shopping for new shoes." Everyone laughed, and the party continued. Now, Sarah tells this story at every gathering, and it always gets a big laugh. Let's learn some new words from this story. The first word is heel. A heel is the back part of your foot, or the part of a shoe that supports the back of your foot. High-heeled shoes have a tall heel that makes you taller. Have you ever worn high heels? They can be tricky to walk in. The next word is lopsided. Lopsided means not even or balanced. Imagine a seesaw with one side much higher than the other. That's lopsided. Can you think of other things that can be lopsided? Alright, now let's switch gears and talk about a different topic. Have you ever traveled to another country? Traveling can be such a wonderful experience. You get to see new places, meet new people, and try new foods. But sometimes, traveling can also lead to some funny and unexpected situations. I remember a trip I took to Japan. It was my first time there, and I was so excited. I wanted to try everything, especially the food. So, I went to a traditional Japanese restaurant and ordered a dish that looked delicious on the menu. When the food arrived, I was surprised to see that it was a big bowl of noodles with a raw egg on top. I didn't know what to do. Should I eat the egg raw? Should I mix it into the noodles? I decided to watch the people around me and see how they were eating their food. I noticed that they were all mixing the raw egg into the hot noodles, which cooked the egg a little bit. So, I did the same, and it turned out to be delicious. But here's where it gets funny. After finishing my meal, I wanted to say thank you in Japanese. I knew that thank you is arigato, but I was so nervous that I accidentally said arigato with a big, exaggerated bow. The waiter looked surprised, and then he started laughing. I felt so embarrassed, but I laughed too. It was a good lesson in cultural differences. Now, let's learn some words from this story. The first word is noodle. Noodles are long, thin strips of dough that are cooked in boiling water. They are popular in many countries, like Japan, China, and Italy. Do you like noodles? What is your favorite way to eat them? The next word is exaggerated. Exaggerated means making something seem bigger or more important than it really is. For example, If you catch a small fish and tell everyone it was a huge fish, you are exaggerating. Can you think of a time when you or someone you know exaggerated something? Alright, let's play a little game. This game is called Guess the Word. I will describe something, and you try to guess what it is. Ready? Here we go. This is something you use to write. It has ink inside, and you can refill it when it runs out. What is it? Yes, it's a pen. Great job. Let's try another one. This is something you use when it rains. It keeps you dry by covering you. What is it? Yes, it's an umbrella. Well done. Games like these are fun and help us learn new words. Do you have any favorite games? Maybe next time, you can teach me a new game, and we can play it together. Alright, back to our story. After the restaurant incident, I continued my trip in Japan. One of the most amazing places I visited was Kyoto. Kyoto is known for its beautiful temples and gardens. One day, I decided to visit the famous Golden Pavilion. The Golden Pavilion is a beautiful temple covered in gold leaf. It sits next to a peaceful pond, and the reflection of the temple in the water is just breathtaking. While I was there, I decided to take a lot of pictures. I was so focused on getting the perfect shot that I didn't notice a group of school children coming up behind me. Suddenly, I heard a lot of giggling and felt a tap on my shoulder. I turned around and saw about 10 kids, all wanting to take a picture with me. They were so cute and friendly, and I felt like a celebrity. After taking pictures with the kids, I continued exploring the temple. I met a local artist who was painting a beautiful landscape of the temple and its surroundings. He invited me to sit with him and try painting. I'm not a great artist, but it was so much fun to try. The artist even gave me a small painting as a gift to remember my visit. Let's learn some more words from this story. The first word is pavilion. A pavilion is a building or structure, often in a park or garden, used for shelter or decoration. The Golden Pavilion is a very famous one. Have you ever visited a pavilion? What was it like? The next word is landscape. A landscape is a picture of natural scenery, like mountains, trees, and rivers. The artist I met was painting a landscape of the Golden Pavilion. Do you like to draw or paint landscapes? What is your favorite scene to draw or paint? Alright, I have another joke for you. Ready? Why did the bicycle fall over? Because it was too tired. Get it? Too tired sounds like too tired, but it's also about a bicycle having two tires. I hope that made you smile. Now, I want to share one more story with you. This one is about my friend John and his adventure with a mischievous cat. John loves animals, especially cats. One day, he found a stray cat outside his house. The cat was very friendly, so John decided to take it in and give it a home. He named the cat Whiskers. Whiskers was very playful and loved to explore. One day, John couldn't find Whiskers anywhere. He looked all over the house, but the cat was nowhere to be seen. Just as he was about to give up, he heard a strange noise coming from the kitchen. He went in and found Whiskers on top of the refrigerator. The cat had somehow managed to climb up there and was now stuck. John laughed and carefully got Whiskers down. But Whiskers wasn't done with his adventures. The next day, John found him inside a drawer, sleeping on his socks. Every day was a new adventure with Whiskers, and John loved every moment of it. Let's learn some words from this story. The first word is mischievous. Mischievous means playful in a way that causes trouble. Whiskers was a mischievous cat, always getting into things. Do you know anyone who is mischievous? The next word is stray. A stray animal is one that doesn't have a home. John found a stray cat and gave it a home. Have you ever helped a stray animal? Before we end today's episode, let's review some of the words and phrases we learned today. We talked about heels on shoes and how they can break. We learned the word lopsided, which means uneven. We also learned muddy, which describes something covered in mud, and puddle, a small pool of water. We talked about noodles, exaggerated, pavilions, landscapes, mischievous, and stray. Remember, the key to learning English is to practice every day. Try to use new words in your conversations. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are just a part of learning. And most importantly, have fun with it. The more you enjoy learning, the better you will become. Thank you so much for joining me today on Learn English with Podcast Conversation. I had a great time, and I hope you did too. Don't forget to tune in next time for more fun stories, games, and English lessons. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Goodbye for now.